box presentation, and my book is The Juvie 3 by Gordon Corman, and it's just basically a story of 3 juvenile kids that get to go into a foster home, basically. And I chose this box. Well, I put these pictures on this box because one of them, because the setting was in New York City, and another one with the 3 kids on the back, which are the 3 main characters in the story, which are, well, this one would be RJ, and he was in juvie, well, because he killed someone out of self-defense, and then the other 2 would be Terrence and Gecko. And Gecko is driving the getaway car for his brother, and Terrence, he robbed a place and then got caught with a bunch of other people. And then my last 2 pictures are a hospital and a man hospitalized, because their program leader, one night when the 3 boys were kind of getting in a little bit of a fight, and he ended up getting shoved down and he hit his head on something, and then he fell into a coma. And lots of the story is in the hospital where he's at, where Gecko sneaks in quite a bit, because he puts because no one even really knows who their leader who got injured, Mr. Healy, that no one even really knew who he was, so he snuck in there quite a bit and said that he was his nephew. And then my 5 items. Well, I chose 3 items out of here that were off the 3 kids' personalities. One of them would be a car, because Gecko, just like how he got in trouble for driving the getaway car for his brother, he had a passion for cars and many other things like that. And another one is a CD, because RJ, when he was in juvie, the only thing he had was a guitar, and he was self-taught, and well, now he just really connected with music because that's all he had when he was locked away. And another one is a quarter, because Terrence is pretty much selfish, and all he cares about is himself, and all he wants to do is hustle people and things for money, and he doesn't really care about anyone else. And then another one is just a Band-Aid, because Mr. Healy, the program leader, since he was in the hospital the whole entire time almost, and most of the story has to do with his injury. And then another one is a Brat doll, because towards like the end of the story in the hospital, where Gecko is fake being a volunteer just so he can be around Mr. Healy, he meets an actual volunteer that her name is Roxanne, and then they ended up getting pretty close. And those would be all my 5 items. And then for my 3 literary elements, I chose a conflict, climax, and resolution. And the conflict would just be that, well, they're trying to get Healy out of the hospital without getting in trouble and him being all right. And then the climax would be actually when they are trying to get him out of the hospital. And then they end up having Roxanne, Gecko's girlfriend, going into the hospital and actually just sneaking clueless Healy out, because he can't remember anything after he went into a coma. And then they end up taking him out into the getaway truck and then driving away, and then just eventually getting away with it. But and then the resolution, eventually they do end up getting caught, but the city ends up just letting them off, because through the whole entire time that Healy was injured, they all stayed back and did their homework and everything, and pretty much just tried not to get caught and did everything right, and just tried to play it smooth, and they ended up letting him off with it. And then overall, this book, I would say it's pretty good, because I usually don't like books, and I would recommend it to people who like suspense. And now you can clap.